When I discovered my wife was cheating with a married man, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I called a private investigator and burned both their lives to ash. By the time I was finished, he had no wife, no job, no home, and a broken nose. Let me show you how karma arrived on my schedule. If you've been betrayed, if you've ever imagined delivering cold, surgical justice to someone who tore your world apart, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is revenge served on a flaming platter. It began in the early 2000s. I was married, with 2 young kids, 4 and 6, still innocent, still trusting. But small things started feeling wrong. My kids, who usually told sweet stories about playground games or cartoons, suddenly kept talking about days with Grandma and Grandpa. Her parents lived 90 minutes away. Once-a-month visits made sense, but 2 or 3 times a week. No way, especially when she only worked part-time. I asked her casually. Her voice said nothing's wrong. Her eyes said otherwise. So, I started logging her car's mileage. 400 unexplained miles every week. Not for groceries, not errands, something else. My gut went cold. Then one day, fate handed me the key. She left her AOL password on a sticky note by the family computer, her handwriting, her loops. I logged in. Emails. Dozens. Her and her college best friend gloating about how she was sleeping with a high school ex. They joked about the sex, the thrill, mocked his wife for being fat after kids. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her. I printed everything and stayed silent. A friend of mine, a cop, connected me to Ron, a former officer turned PI. I gave him the emails, her schedule, her excuses. Within a week, Ron had it all. Photos, dates, times. The pattern was simple. Drop the kids at her parents', lunch with the ex, disappear into a roadside motel for hours, then pick up the kids like nothing happened. And him? Let's call him Bob. Married. 3 kids. VP of sales at his father-in-law's company. Perfect life. Plenty to lose. I wasn't just going to expose my wife. I was going to dismantle Bob. First, I hired a divorce lawyer. Calm. Strategic. I knew family court cared little about infidelity, but I wouldn't let my kids grow up in the chaos I endured as a child. Then, I set the final play. The same day my wife got served at work, Ron drove to Bob's house, handing his wife a full report, photos, memos, emails, a complete timeline. She didn't just confront him. She leveled his life. Within 48 hours, she emptied their accounts, took the kids, and told her father, the boss, everything. Bob was fired immediately. Word spread. No company wanted the disgraced VP who humiliated his in-laws. Then came the eviction from their in-laws' house. Bob tried to beg for another chance. Her brother answered with fists. Broken nose, restraining order, police reports, charges, jail. And then, he vanished. Gone from the map. His ex-wife thrived, took over her father's business when he retired. I finalized my divorce, stayed civil, and focused on my kids. Now they are grown, and I have no contact with my ex, not out of hate, just because there's nothing left to say. She chose her path. I simply made sure karma found her first. Bob lost his marriage, job, home, reputation, and his face took a hit too. He thought he could sleep with my wife and walk away untouched. He underestimated me. I didn't rage. I didn't lose control. I planned. And when the trap snapped shut, there was no escape. That's the thing about revenge. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be bloody. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is letting people destroy themselves, with just a little push. If that gave you chills, hit like and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of justice, karma, and payback.